Sweet. It's working on my side. Okay.
Okay, we're recording.
I'm recording. Go for it.
Okay, good morning, goal diggers. Welcome to today's training. I'm super thrilled to hear from Julene today. We're going to talk about onboarding new coaches and getting started right with your coaches. Something, honestly, that the first few 6, 7, 8 months as being a coach that I was kind of like, I'm reaching out to these people, but I don't know what to do with them. So, if anybody else feels that way, hopefully, we're going to have this training and we're going to give steps. Julene's going to break down the steps, and then you're going to have this to keep going over and then to pass on to your coaches as well, so when they start their coaches and so on and so on. So hearing from Julene this morning, I'm so excited. Yesterday was her coach anniversary. I thought that was awesome. She came into my life as a challenger and then was one of those rock star challengers who I asked about taking on the opportunity. And then ever since then, she has shown up, looked into everything. She's the type of person that was coachable and listened to my guidance on everything, but yet she was in the background studying her bum off, watching at every single YouTube video, looking at her Coach Online office, studying, learning everything that she possibly could, and taking the lead to show up to be a leader by herself, and then leading her own team, which is now 2-star diamond qualifying team. We're getting a step back. But I mean, just duplicating her team like crazy because she is coachable and she showed up and she really pushed through like that. So excited to hear from her today, all of her wisdom bombs, and I'm going to let you take it away. So I'm not yapping anymore. I'm ready to hear from you, dear.
Okie dokie. This is a system that, to step back, like Lindsay said, I'm constantly researching, and she probably has muted my messages because it's constantly dinging. Hey, Lindsay, do you know this? Do you know this? I found out this. Do you know this? So we have kind of put together a system together on how to get our coaches started, and we're constantly tweaking and making adjustments to really get our coaches successful. So I didn't do anything fancy, but I did put together, let's make sure this works. Can you see that? Lindsay? No? Yes, I can't see you. What did
Yes.
I do? Okay, thank you. All I see is this.
I'm like, thumbs up, I got it. Really pretty.
Okay. So getting our coaches started right. And again, Lindsay and I both are constantly researching top coaches and seeing what we can do to improve things. And one of the number one things that all the top coaches do, no matter who you're researching, is they send that welcome letter. And it doesn't matter if your coach plans on being a business builder or a discount coach, you still send out that letter. And you're kind of presenting them with the opportunity when you send out that letter, even if they plan on just being a discount coach. So basically within this letter also, if they plan on being a business builder, it's going to explain their first steps and what they have to do to kind of set up their account. So they're setting up their profile, their EFT, and they're also printing out their business quick start. What a lot of the top coaches do is that they also plug in a video within that letter, which is on my list of things to do this summer. And I'm not sure, Lindsay, do you plug in a video within your letter?
No, just going to do that as well. Finally got that together for the challenge group, so I will do that as well. So they can click on it, and it's a nice touch that they can see your face. Yeah. Yeah,
and it's definitely, like Lindsay said, more of a personal touch than just the letter, because they can get to know you a little bit better within that. You can explain your 3 steps as a coach, whether you just want to be a discount coach, you want to be a hobby coach, or you want to be an all-in business builder coach. So it's a nice opportunity to really kind of give them their options and help them to understand a little bit more. From there, once they plug in those 3 things, they set up their profile, their EFT, and they print off their business quick start, and they fill that out. Then you want to get on a getting started right call as soon as possible. And within that getting started right call, I spend most of the call focusing on their why. And we kind of skip around within that business quick start. But it really is a good time to really hone in on their why, and more than just, I want to help people. Because if we all just had that run us, it wouldn't be a deep enough why to keep us going. It wouldn't be a deep enough why of why I was up at 1:30 in the morning last night and got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make sure I was ready, got my workout in. That's not going to, it's not personal enough. So you really kind of connect with them. And if you don't know that coach well enough, then you have an opportunity to make that personal connection and help them find that why. We also we touch on the subject of Success Club and how simple it is really to get to Success Club, that you only have to help 3 people. I had a coach of a coach yesterday post her transformation pictures, and she's probably got 6 or 7 conversations started just from that. We also talk about the spouse support and how you kind of have to be on the same page. I know that was one of the things that my husband and I still struggle with to this day, is, that balance, that they understand what's going on. Lindsay even recommends sometimes not setting up that automatic deposit, because then that physical check comes in the mail and you can show your spousal unit, hey, look what I just got, so that it's not just getting lost in the bank account. And then it's also an opportunity to explain that it's not a get rich quick scheme, that it is hard. And I always stress that point to the new coaches, that this isn't going to be simple, and it at certain points it's going to be very overwhelming. But just consistently plug in and work with it one step at a time, and eventually, about 3 months in, it kind of all settles a little bit. Even to this point, exactly a year later for me, there's still points where I'm very overwhelmed. But I take a step back, and that's, again, where I tell those coaches, that's where the personal development comes in. That's where you connect with your why. If you don't have a strong enough why and you're not doing that personal development, when you get overwhelmed, you're going to be gone. So if you really want to make something of this, you have to make sure that you connect with those 2 things. After we get off the Get It Started Right call, then it's super important that they start their contact list. And up until this point, I've been recommending doing it in an Excel or a spreadsheet and just typing out anybody and everybody they can think of. And I think that's still, we're all going through the Teamsy, and, I guess I'm asking opinions on everybody, since we're all just kind of getting into this Teamsy. Do we think that this is the best time for them to plug in right away to Teamsy and take that free account for the first month? Or is that going to be a little bit overwhelming? Hey, you have to pay for this program in a month if you use it. I don't know, since it's something new. But up until this point, I've recommended that they do the spreadsheet, type it out. I have stressed how important it is to get that organization from the start, because if you don't, you're going to be like me, and month 3, because you thought you could keep track of everyone just by paper and pencil and scribbling everywhere, you're going to be very overwhelmed, and you're going to miss a lot of people. So Lindsay and I have a couple Google folders that have scripts in them, and it has all of the scripts that we use laid out, and you send that then to your coach. and have them send out 10 invitations to 10 people on that contact list. And then what we do is we then say, if you have someone interested, let's get on a 3-way message stream. I know with that coach of the coach yesterday, we were on 2 of them, and one has already signed up with her. So, it kind of gives a good example is, you go to a restaurant and you have a brand new waitress, and that brand new waitress follows around a veteran waitress. And they don't just walk up to you and say, hey, what do you want? So it's kind of a mentorship, and it's a good way for them to follow along, and they can see that 5-step invitation process within that. And it's all right there. We ask that they really don't pipe in too much, because when you have too many people coming at someone who's thinking about doing one of our programs, then they're like, wait, what? Who, what? And I know poor Lindsay, I did that a little too much when she did this with me. And she's like, just relax, because you don't want too many opinions and thoughts coming at them. Just be a fly on the wall. That's what we ask our coaches to do. Just watch. And usually I have a private message stream then going with that coach and saying, look, I just did this. Do you see how I did that? Yesterday, one of the conversations we were having, I messaged the coach and I said, do you see how she's kind of very resistant of talking to me? She's giving me 1-word answers. So we need to connect with her a little bit more and get her a little bit more comfortable with me, and get to know her a little bit more, so she opens up a little bit more, so we can figure out why she wants to do this. So it's a nice way. It's a nice teaching moment, a hands-on teaching moment. And Lindsay and I have both agreed that no more than 2 of those messages, because then at that point, it's time for them to try. And they can be in contact with us and ask any questions that they have. We've got a lot of, on Team Tenacious, we've got a lot of screenshots of conversations. Oh my gosh, what do I say next? I have no idea. And it just takes time for them to get comfortable with that. And, even that coach yesterday, she said, well, they always, I've talked to people before and they're like, I'm not paying that much. And I said, just watch through this conversation and you're going to see how I connect with why it's so important in giving them value to our programs. So it's a great learning experience for those new coaches. Then we also have a Smart Start webinar that we found. And I don't even remember exactly what coaches it is, but they basically break down Social Media 101, how to invite on social media and how to tell your story. And it's an hour long. So usually you kind of have to have the coach kind of committed and rolling and get the ball rolling before you send them this webinar. And I'll get everybody the link and I'll post it in the post today. But Lindsay and I, again, planning the summer now that after tomorrow, I'll have a bit more time on my hands. We're going to make our own so that they see our faces. But even without it being our faces, it's a great opportunity, a great learning experience. It talks about not selling, but sharing, all of those kinds of things. And it makes it really simple for them to understand what they need to do. They can take notes, they can watch it in little increments, but it basically is everything you need to know on how to post in 1 hour. And it's a great webinar, and I think I've watched it a total of like 25 times, and every time I get new information. So after that, then once they've watched that webinar, we discuss their official coach announcement. I always ask them for their favorite picture, whether it is just them, their family, whatever kind of makes them feel confident and beautiful and happy. And then ask them for a short quote of why they're doing this. And then, you've already connected with their story. So when you make their official coach announcement, it's a great time to give that brief story. Now later, they're going to explain their story. They're going to, more and more I'm seeing new coaches do the video, and it just absolutely connects with people. And I think that's a great way than just a post. But within this coach announcement, you can, as briefly as she's a mom of 4, her self-esteem was very low. She was tired of having that mom body, you know, something very simple, and had great success with these programs, and now she wants to pay it forward. And then you throw in their quote, and I personally, I love the way that Tina does the new coach announcements, or any announcements, is that she tags the other coaches in the comment section, because I know at first I probably had 50 coach announcements coming up on my timeline. And I like that because it still gives you the notification so that, you know, the other coaches can comment on it, but it doesn't come up on the timelines. It'll come, well, on your personal timeline. It'll come up so that other people see it because there's comments on it and everything, but it eliminates the extra step of having to go back and take that off of your personal timeline. So I've been doing that recently, is plugging in all of the tags within that first comment section. And then from that point, we enter them into Coach Basics. So it's a pretty simple, week-long process to really get them started. And really it's up to them on how fast you move. You know, how quick are they going to set up and go in the Coach Online office? And then, you know, based off of everybody's schedule, how quick do you get on that getting started right call? How quick are they going to send out those invites? So, you know, it's up to the coach on how quick they move, and that way they don't get too overwhelmed by things. I know that back when Becca had started, poor Becca, I tagged her in anything and everything on our team page, and I swear her eyeballs popped out of her head, because I really had no system on how to get her going. So it's a great opportunity to just kind of go at their pace. And then once they kind of have a foundation, then you can plug them into Coach Basics. So hope that helps.
That was awesome. I love it. Yeah, you're right. You met with Becca at McDonald's, and I met up with you guys afterwards. And then I looked on our team page, and I'm like, "Did you just tag her in 20 things?" I'm like, Julene, one step at a time. But then that's when we broke it down, like what she just said. And we're like, okay, do these first steps. It's like, I like to think of it like a chess match. Here's your first couple steps. You make the move, and I make the move and tell you what's next. You make the move, I make the move. So hopefully that helped with everyone. Does anyone have any questions about that? I know it's a big thing. Like I said, it was something that was tough for me to grasp when I first started and inviting people. And I'm like, you know, how am I going to get them started? So if anybody has any questions.
Do you send the emails even to people that want to sign up as a discount coach?
And if you watch any top coach, they say do it.
Okay.
Send out that email even to the discount coaches.
Okay. And then the scripts I'm sorry, go ahead. I
have found, just a side note, that when I know that they're going to be a business builder, I send that message right away. I'm still playing around with this for the discount coach letter. I tried to let them get a week's worth of loving everything, loving their program, loving Shakeology, you know, loving the group and everything. And then I check in with them and I say, you know, I just want to check in privately. You're doing great in the group, or maybe they're not checking in the group. Just wanted to see how your workouts are going, how your eating plan is going, and how you're loving Shakeology. That's my script. I say all the time in private message after 1 week. Very important. And then we talk about Shakeology and find out that they love it. And then I let them know how it's going to be to continue. They can switch their flavor. And they say, you know, I'm going to shoot you an email real quick that I like to send to my discount coaches. And then I do it at that point. So it's, you know, I kind of found in the beginning, they're like, no, nothing to do with coaching. Don't want to, nothing, you know. And then once they get into liking it and everything, but that's up to you. Like, you can keep that in Teensy now, though. Put them into your group. Then make sure you follow up 1 week with that email. So that's kind of where I'm playing around with that. What do you think, Julene?
No, I agree. And that was always my hesitation with the discount coaches, because that's so many times when they choose the discount coach option, they're like, I don't want anything to do with coaching. I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to, and you know, it's no matter what top coach you watch, they say, send that email to everybody. And it just, I feel like I kind of lose their trust if I send it to them right away, even though they said I want nothing to do with coaching. So I like that idea of giving them a week into the challenge group kind of thing, and then sending it, or whatever it may be, to give them a little bit more comfort level, and so that they find a love for our programs right away. And then, all you're doing is planting that seed. When you send it to those discount coaches, it gives them an idea. Oh, okay. It doesn't mean they're going to say, hey, I want to be an active coach. But it basically is just putting that thought in their head. And then maybe that person will even, through the challenge group, have that thought going, and they're thinking, okay, maybe I could do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Coach, you guys said you put them in Coach Basic. Is that the one on Beachbody, or you have your own Coach Basics?
We did it that we based it off of the Coach Basics in the back office. We were finding that when we put them into Emerald Factory, because we weren't within that, and it wasn't our videos and it wasn't our personal touch, that we were losing people, that they were getting overwhelmed. So it basically is the same idea behind Emerald Factory, same thing behind the Coach Online Office training, but it's Lindsay and I's faces. It's our words, it's our connections, so that we have the connection.
Coach Basics. All right, cool, yeah.
Yep.
And then the other thing that we found is that once they said they wanted to be a coach, we were putting them right in something like that, and it was too much. So we're taking these steps, like Julene just said, of where we're mentoring them one-on-one. And, it may take a week, like she said, it may take a week, it may take 2 weeks, but we're walking them through and taking the time to teach them before we put them into any Coach Basics. We pretty much get them to Emerald within, a week with that system, with the 3-way message call, and taking the time to teach them. Jenny did it in 48 hours. No, you did it like within a day. Right, Jenny? Jenny became Emerald in 1 day. We do that. Like after you get off that Getting Started Right call, we guide them and we say, okay, so here's how we're going to get you started. We like to have our coaches get their product paid for right up front. So think of 10 people. I want you to send this invitation out. It's right in Team Aspire, the 3-way message stream. Here's the invite you're going to send out to people. When they say they're interested, don't answer any questions. They're going to ask how much it is. They're going to ask what it is. Don't answer any questions. Put them in a 3-way message stream. Here's what you say. Make sure you get, it's okay to be in the 3-way message stream. Here's how you edify me as the coach, or Julene, or whatever, because they must edify. It's like when you're telling somebody about a new doctor, you don't just say, hey, go check out this doctor. You say, oh my gosh, this doctor that I have, they're awesome. They listen to you. They really think about like what they do, and then they give you the best. You guys got to make sure that you emphasize that they do that in the 3-way message stream, so they build trust in that message stream. And it is a little tough for me to get, I think Julene does this too, it's tough for you to get those new coaches to trust you as the new coach, to put them in the 3-way message stream. And I just tell them, I say, this is how we're going to do it. 10 people, when you get them that's interested, here's the way that you do it for the 3-way message stream. I said, if you can be coachable and you can trust me on this script, every person, every new coach that we've gone through on this 3-way message stream, they become Emerald within a couple days, and they learn how to do the scripts, and then they're off and running by themselves. It doesn't always work. I still try to say it. We use the example of the restaurant server, but it's up to them if they want to be coachable or not. But when it works great. So I think I went on a tangent there. Did I answer that question? Sorry.
Are those the scripts that you put in our group already, Lindsay? All those scripts, is that the scripts you guys give your Google Doc scripts that you already share with goal diggers?
For invites?
For the Good Start, yeah, on your list of things that you send them.
I can share the folder.
I think
right
she
in
did
the comment section for the link. Yeah, I think she did too. But
I put it in this group. It's called Inviting School, and it's
Yeah.
a whole list of
Okay.
that we were going to do today too. But that 3-way message stream script, whatever, is in Aspire headquarters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have a really good video from Jimmy Hayes Nelson that I put in my Get It Started Right stuff too, about how to grow your contact list, that I'll share in Goal Diggers. It's not that long of a video, but it's really good because people don't realize how many people you put on your contact list. It's not just people you know, it's people that you know who know people. So it's a really good video that I'll share.
And you have a great letter too that you could share. Maybe we could.
Yeah. I'll share that one too.
Welcome letter.
My welcome letter. Yep. It was from Melanie Mitro.
Yeah, that's where hers is. Follow the top coach.
Yep. Awesome.
Any other questions from anybody before we go into our live half hour here?
I just want to say it's pretty freaking awesome how everybody just shares everything here. It's unbelievable. And it's if you're new here, this is who we are. We're not going to stop doing it. We care about everybody. We want everyone to succeed. And I'm just like proud to be part of this group. It's just freaking awesome.
It blows me away too. Like that coach that shared everything with her Shakeology 7 day. I'm like, you just gave me your secret sauce. Like it's so, it's cool. I love it. Our mission is just to help as many people as possible. So we share all of this to make sure that happens.
I do have a question, and maybe some of the veteran coaches can answer this on your thoughts on those new coaches, on them keeping track of their contact list. Do we think we should recommend that month trial in their first month? That way it's all, that system is right there and, right from the get-go. It's really simple for them. I don't know, or would that be overwhelming?
I don't. What do they have to lose by trying? If they don't see that it's working, then they don't have to.
They don't have to buy it.
But I think it's a great program. I'm having fun. It's like.
Yeah, and you're giving them a system, guys. You're giving them a system up front, so they see there's some kind of structure here, and it's not just like, oh, hey, go do this, go post, go do this. You're giving them a structure, so have them do it from day one. There's videos that shows them how to upload. If they're technically having issues there, then, they can look that stuff up, or you can kind of get on the phone and help them if you need to. But, yeah, I think you should give them a system up front.
Maybe that's something we add into our Smart Start list there, Julian.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I just didn't know, sometimes my brain works differently than others. So that's why I thought this would be a good opportunity to ask.
And that's true. You're giving them something right up front, a system, so they get into a good habit right away.
And I know that was the overwhelming part for me as a beginning coach was like, I've got this list, but seriously, who do I talk to? And, cold invites for me, I'm just a no-go. Like I have to connect with them, and Teamzy does that so nicely that you can just, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, your daughter is adorable. That easy. And you've started a conversation. And then as soon as you do that new coach post or that invite on your coach page, and I know that's one of the hardest things for new coaches is sending out the private message invites. So it's a nice opportunity to start those relationships and keep track of those relationships without, feeling that discomfort. I don't know.
And to take it even further, it really promotes the non-sale, aspect of this. So we're not selling, we're sharing, we're talking to people, and people love talking to people. So you can actually get people really excited about this business instead of afraid. I think it's brilliant. It's just perfect. I love it.
What you could do is definitely inform them of it. And then if they don't want to do it right away, at least they have the information and they'll feel better knowing that there's a system in place already. But then they can look at it when they're ready, because there's a lot in the beginning. And usually paper to pen work just for the first couple weeks, but then at least they know up front there is this, and they can just look at it and play with it, whatever, if they want.
I just love that there's that month-long free trial, and it's just enough to get you totally in love with it and obsessed with it. And then, here, give us money now.
I still have to get my discount thing set up there that Jesse got for us. It's awesome. And then, maybe what it's thinking too, like maybe after we get off that getting started, see how it's a working process. It's like you got to see what works and see what people can relate to the best when they get started. But right after we get off that call and we guide them, like, okay, here's 10 people, get your 10 people, reach out to them, give me 2 3-way message streams, and then we do that. And then another thing I like to do too is I like them. This is all before we announce them as a coach. Like we're kind of working the back, secret attack, whatever. And then I also like to have them put out a post, just a very generic post, like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That's how I start all my sentences. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to start my 21-day, don't say the name of the program, 21-day challenge with this awesome group of ladies. And we're going to go over, I'm finally going to, whatever, they say their goal that they're going to do, how it's going to be in the group, and say, if anybody'd like to join me, and be accountability partners, let me know. It'd be great to do this together. We do a very simple post like that. Sometimes they don't even do a picture. And then anybody who comments on that, then we start getting them, signed up and going as well. So then they have contacts from that too. So they have their first 10 contacts. They have contacts from that post. So then maybe after that, when they're like, okay, see how maybe you should get organized, we can introduce like the Teamsy type thing there. Was my long thought process answer. But yeah, and then the other thing I just wanted to add, and then we can go into the action steps of the Power Half Hour I wanted to do. But the reason behind, and Julene did awesome breaking this down and explaining everything. I just love it. I'm like proud mama bear over here, but see how good she is at teaching. She's so great at this. But anyways, with the announcements, the reason behind the announcement, and maybe this is a given, but just a reminder, is you guys are showing your tribe. You're showing your team culture. You're showing that, people want to come with you, and they're coming with you, and they're going to be excited about this too. When you're doing that announcement, you're speaking to your target audience as well too. Like if I'm announcing, like Jenny, she's a busy mom of 3, and she had amazing results with her, 21-day challenge. And, now she's just really excited to pay it forward and help other moms, work this into their busy life. Like that's my target audience. I'm speaking to those moms. So I do those little digs about that, jabs, I guess, about that announcement. But that's the reason behind your announcement, is you want to show, their heartfelt quote about what they're doing. And then you also want to make sure that you're adding in like some of her results and what she did, or he, or whatever. And, just showing that you're building your tribe and your team culture type of thing. So I just wanted to add that in there. Maybe that's a given, but just a little reminder on that. I think was there any other questions, or?
It was just, most of the questions on there are just, can you share this? Can you share that? So we'll make sure to put those in the comments of the post from this morning on the link for this call. So.
And that webinar is Brittany Leggett and Katie Hyphen.
Yeah, I just got it. So I'm just going to put it in the comment section right now.
Okay.
And mine is called Jimmy Hayes. It's actually called a memory jogger. So
nice.
I'm putting it in there now too.
Okay. Okay, so let's get to some action steps. What I wanted to suggest is that everybody open up their Teamsy if you haven't already. So I'm going to open up my Teamsy dashboard. And Julene, you can go over some things that, and I mean, anybody can throw this in here about things that they do with their, Power Half Hour and how they're working with Teamsy. But just some steps that I like to do right away, and I was going to kind of time us as well. We have about 22 minutes, but the first thing I like to do is I like to go to my events in my phone. So I have my Teamsy board open, and then I have my phone in my hand. And so I'm going to go to events, and then I like to go to birthdays. This is the first thing that Julene and I do for the day. And then you're going to go in and you're going to see who has a birthday today. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. We're going to take a few minutes if you guys can find that as well. And then I just send out a really simple message. I know Lindsay Cheatham has shared that in the team page before. Just a really simple, like, hey, Lisa, happy birthday to you. I hope you have a fantastic day, or hope your year's filled with health and happiness, something like that. Something very simple. Then when they get back to me and they say thank you, then I say something like, hope you had some fun plans for the day, or did you have any fun things planned for the day? And I just kind of start to get into the conversation with that. So let's do 5 minutes and have everybody send birthday messages out.
Why don't you share your screen, Lindsay, as you do it for some of the people that are just still, because I noticed that, you know what I mean? There's some coaches that are still probably trying to figure some of this stuff out with Facebook, especially the newer ones.
Okay. Let me get back there.
Hey, Lindsay,
or Julene, you want to do it?
Yeah, I can do it. That's fine.
Okay.
Do you guys do that privately, those birthday messages, or do you do it on your Facebook wall?
Private message.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, that's a good question, though, because some people, if I've never talked to them before, it doesn't work as well. So I'll just do, like, I found, like, a really pretty picture, happy birthday picture.
Okay.
Guys, like, find a pretty picture. Whatever. Or find a funny, birthday name picture or something, and I post it on their wall because it wasn't working so well with my cold market. I'm just like, hello, Jessica, I hope you have a fabulous day. Like, they're like, who the heck are you? Or sometimes they would get back to me and say thank you, but the cold market, I've been doing it on their wall.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and also, guys, what you can do is if you go into the private message, if you don't want to go looking for pictures, you can do a GIF. Just tap in happy birthday in the comments. It'll pull up in the GIF the image, and there's some pretty cool images in there, and you can send those little video images to people, kind of give them a little extra stuff.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea too.
Or
and then if you guys want to take it a step further, do a voice recording.
That's what I was just going to say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was just going to say. Do the voice recording. I love doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just figured out that for some reason last week when I went to put in my credit card for TeamZ, apparently I didn't complete that, so my TeamZ expired yesterday. So I'm waiting for my son to run out in my car to get my purse so that I can put in my credit card number. So I will go through the birthday message, and then hopefully all of you have checked out TeamZ and you know exactly how to copy and paste into that person. But if not, I will get that to you in a second. Sorry about that.
I guess sharing the screen of your invites or the events, how you find the birthday.
So on Facebook, sorry, I got all kinds of things up. Welcome to my life. My life is lots of tabs and lots of things on my desktop. And but if you're on your desktop, in the right-hand side, you have this. Thank you, buddy. This entire column here of all kinds of information, and that's where, if you scroll down, you can see that it will show you right where the birthdays are. If you click on that, okay, then your list of birthdays come up, and then if you hold over their name, a little brief intro of their profile will come up, and from right there, you can start a message. This is one of my best friends, so this is an easy. I got to make it more fun than that.
And you guys should be getting like emails and things like that with the birthdays from Facebook, which pretty much Facebook lets you know that there's birthdays going on. So they're pretty much helping you guys. So, that's like a little reminder. If you check your emails, I'm sure you're getting an email from Facebook, or if you're on your cell phone and you're doing this stuff from your phone, sometimes you can scroll down in the search area and it'll show the people's birthdays for the day, tomorrow, and things like that. So just keep that in mind.
You're right, they do. They're like, it's so-and-so and 9 other people's birthdays. Send them a message. Like, they're encouraging you to.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to do one of more of a person that I don't talk to as often. But this is typically...
I just sent her a coach invitation, so...
What's that?
This is someone who I just invited to the coach opportunity last.
Oh, did you? I have her son at school.
Oh. I graduated with her. Maybe we should do this together because we have 280 mutual friends.
I know, we need to.
You're like, wait, I just talked to that person.
Well, the good thing is, whoever gets them, I mean, you're still going to get them, you know?
Yeah,
Either way.
that's true. That's what we
And
do.
that's what we've even found. It's whoever you connect with. That's, you know, and there's no hard feelings. It's literally who you connect with, and they're going to go with the person they're more comfortable with. Like with 289 friends, I mean, she's a graduate of Firelands and I work there. So like we literally know the exact same people. And some people are going to see her stuff and some people are going to see my stuff. And we literally, if they're like, oh yeah, I'm in talks with Lindsay, it's like, oh, okay, see ya.
Yeah, my wife does the same thing. Like, her stuff will pop up in mine, and I'll send out invites to people that she's already talked to, and they're like, "Oh, I already talked to your wife." I'm like, "You did? You didn't sign up yet?"
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, you know, when I do birthday things, I like, you know, doing subliminal stuff. So my post is always happy and healthy. I start with that. May today bring you joy, peace, love, excitement, adventure. You know, just putting good things in their brain, you know, and so they relate to me in that way.
Hey, Victor, I got to tell you real quick, man, just throw it off the subject, that video you're doing with the food, I think you should continue to do that, buddy. That was pretty good.
Oh, the video that I did with the zucchini pasta?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good video, man. I seen you got some good connection on that, too. So,
I got 140 likes or something like that. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's good stuff. So I may just borrow that. So what did you use, like a cam on your head or something?
I just used my phone.
Really?
Well, maybe I might have used my GoPro. Yes, I might have put it on my head. You're absolutely right. I think I did.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was like, where'd you get the third arm, man? I mean, you know, how you holding that thing up there?
I'm gonna start using my GoPro for my cooking once a day.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good video.
Awesome.
It's all about the spiralizer.
So we just both sent me this.
I got to get one of those.
Amazon all the way.
Yep.
So going through the happy birthday messages, you know, you just got 3 different ideas on how to do that, either on their wall or a private message, or I love the GIF thing that Jesse said, or, you know, to do a voice recording to make it even more personal.
No, voice.
So
That's great.
you go through and you do that, and then you want to make sure that you go to Teamsy and you record that this is you log that contact. And you just say, send a birthday message or something, and maybe follow up within 1 week. So that was the step there to do.
Here's a question for you ladies. Maybe you guys can answer this one, because I know I found myself trying to figure this out when I first was sending out my invite. So you send out an invite or a conversation. Let's say a conversation, connect, as since we're doing Team Z. You have somebody that answers you back. Then you're getting a conversation going, and you say, well, how is that? For example, you know, I'll ask something like, you know, how's things on your end? They'll be like, great. How about you? And then what I always come back and say, I'm doing great. You know, getting ready for the summer. The kids are excited. How about yours? You guys ready for the summer? And if they don't get back to you, what would be your next connect? I want to hear some ideals here. Do you just put them in a follow-up, or do you just leave them alone till they answer you, or do you just come back to them 3 months later if they don't answer you? I mean, because you want to continue that conversation. What would you do, or what do you do at that point when someone doesn't answer you back after you ask a question that's not related to, like, the business invite? It's just a regular conversation.
Well, it depends on what group they're in for me. Like, are they in my Challenger Prospect group? Are they, you know, just building a new relationship group? Are they a Coach Prospect group?
Just a brand new relationship. You're just trying to get them formed up a little bit. And, you know, people get busy. You send out that, you're getting the conversation going, and conversation stalls out, and, you know, they don't answer you back. So do you just come back to them in the 3-month thing, set them as a rank 3? Or are you coming back and say, hey, you know, I didn't hear back from you yesterday. I just wanted to see how your summer's going. Or do you just, you know, I'm trying to get a feel of what you guys do to keep that conversation going.
I probably would put it like in a couple week to a month follow-up, like that way, because I wouldn't want to follow up within the same week in that convo, just because I don't want it to seem like I'm hovering over our conversation. You know, like more naturally, you might come across them 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later than you would the next day. That's my thought. Especially if you really have no relationship with them, I would say, hey, you know, saw your post come up on my timeline and made me think, you know, we were chatting and I never got back to you, or, you know, whatever, make it seem like it's your fault or whatever it may be, but just kind of a more natural thing than hovering over them within the next 24 to 48 hours. That's my thought.
Right.
I have a like new friend list kind of thing that I make, new contact list. I mean, I guess all of them are too, but I just kind of put them, then I would do like the next couple days. That's what I would do, next couple days to follow up. But what I do is I'm not going to send them a message. I'm going to go to their page and I'm going to comment or like on something and be a little gnat on their post.
Right. Now that's what I do, Lindsay. I'm just curious, because what I'm doing is, like, I'll go and they're already getting in my feed, because when I send out my Connect, I'm already liking and commenting on their profile picture and maybe their header picture. And what that does is put you back in their feed. Mm-hmm. So they're starting. I've noticed my likes have went up too by doing that. So what I'm doing is I'm doing that and then sending a message at the same time. So it's all at one time. And then if I get the conversation going and they don't answer me back after I do that, then I'll go back. I'll set Team Z for a follow-up for probably a couple of days. That way it doesn't, like you said, look crazy. And, you know, I'll go back and like on a couple more, see if they're posting again. I'll like on their stuff or say something, and then I'll send them another message. Say, hey, you know, I know how Facebook is. Sometimes we don't get our messages. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't think I wasn't answering you back, or I was being, you know. So just kind of making your fault, kind of like what you said, Jolene. That's kind of how I was doing it. I was just curious if anybody else was kind of, you know, even following up with those kind of people or what. So,
like you said, you're easing into it. Like you said, Jesse, you're just, before you ask them out on a date, you want to.
Yeah.
Before you ask them to marry you, you want to date them a little bit and get to know each other.
That's right. Yep. But yeah, I just was curious. I wanted to, you know, I know when I was first getting started, I had issues with that, so I thought that might be good for some of the newer people.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. And then I love how we can go into Team Z and record all of this. This is new contact. This is what I just did. Happy birthday. So then when you do that relationship a little bit, when you send out that invite, ask them out on a date, then it's not going to be as bad. So.
Right. If you guys are putting your activity in there, you'll know what the conversation is going before you even get to there. Once they pop back up in your follow-up. But what you can also do is just put a little side note in there, what you did, what your action was when you did last time, if you did already do that. Just kind of keep it as a note. Remember, this is your personal assistant, so you want to make sure that you're following up with everything and having them give you all your information that you need to make a good judgment call.
Okay, Melanie just asked, I have a question. Someone replied to me that I don't work out. They are an STNA, so I was in a debate between talking about nutrition and just leaving them alone because they may not have ambition to work out. So, oh, go ahead. I don't know who.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, I get those a lot. I don't work out. You know, I'm not interested in working out. You're like, hey, listen, I totally understand. You know, when I first got started, you know, even trying to lose weight, you know, I failed and struggled and just didn't want to do it. So I totally get it. So.
So can I ask them why they don't want to work out, or would that be kind of rude?
Were you in conversation of in the middle of an invite that they said this, or
I just sent out a basic challenge group invite, and then they asked me what a challenge group was, and I told them, and then they said they don't work out.
maybe get to the point that why they were questioning what a challenge group is. So focus more on that, because something sparked their interest. So you have to figure out what it is that sparked their interest. And I guess without knowing exactly, what the whole conversation was, but if it was an invite and you said it's a mix of this, this, and this, then yeah, you could focus on, is there a reason why you have never worked out? Are you looking for, focus on their goals. Everything's going to swing back to what their goals are and what their needs are. So something sparked their interest in the conversation of joining the challenge group. So you kind of have to get to that thought. Am I thinking the right thing?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I mean, you just kind of move the conversation in a different way. That way it doesn't sound like you just say, yeah, hey, join this. Well, why aren't you joining this? Why aren't you doing this? You want to move that conversation just a little bit different where it doesn't sound so salesy, and you relate to them a little bit more, and then maybe you can get some more information out of them as you get, you want them to get to know you a little bit better. You don't want to come across like someone that's just there to pop a question about the fitness thing, and that's all you care about. People want to feel like they're, in the conversation and not just trying to hear what you have to offer them.
And if they're only giving you a one line, is that all she said, Melanie? Did she just say I don't work out?
That was it.
Okay. So what is your thought process on this person right now?
They're not interested, but I didn't know if I should be persistent or just leave it alone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're giving you a very short answer. You need to fluff it a little bit and open up and do a really big feel, felt, found. Like Jesse kind of said there too. And like Julian said, then you work it into their why and be like, I totally understand. I went through a time when I wasn't working out at all. And, but this is how I kind of felt. And I found that I got into this challenge group and now I love working out again, or something like that. Is working out something that you don't want to ever do, or did you do before? Or is it just something that, you haven't found to get back in your life again? See how I'm kind of like trying to fluff her a little bit, like, oh my gosh, I know how you feel. Working out can be tough, and that's how I did too. And, then I found this challenge group, so you add value there. And then give them a couple examples, like dig deep. Like, is it something that you want to do or you did before and you didn't, like, something like that. Give them some examples. And just kind of like them saying that they don't brush their teeth. You're like, really? Well, you need to brush your teeth. Don't you know you need to brush your teeth? So find out why don't you brush your teeth.
Another thing, you could come back to her job, because she is a nurse's aide. So they are a lot on their feet. So it might come back to their job and ask her, what do you like, or talk to her about her job. Do you do are you on your feet a lot? Is that one reason why you feel like or something about exercise, but I would come back to her job too, because she does work a lot with that.
Was it the first, did you send out like just one conversation? Was it like, hey, you want to join me? And then she came back and said, I don't work out. Or was there a conversation going before that one line that she just sent you back? That's the question, because if you didn't already have a dialogue going of some kind and trying to form her, and you just sent her a blank invite and she sent you back, then that's kind of where you're at. You need to kind of start over and get the conversation going and lead it back into and finding out what she wants, why, if she even needs this. Maybe she's a trainer, she's just not telling you, or maybe she's in a wheelchair. You got to find out what the situation is, find out why, she's having these thoughts. But if you just send out, because I used to do that all the time, I used to just send out a blank invite, and I used to get that one line because I didn't form them. Because I just sent out, hey, join my challenge group. We're doing a awesome challenge this week. Just checking to see if you're interested. Nope, don't work out. Oh, okay. So what I'm saying is just make sure that you formed her correctly to get to that point. If you think you formed her correctly and got her to that point, then yeah, there's something else going on. But if you just sent out a blank invite and then you got that, then that's because you didn't form her correctly, and you need to go back and start over and get that relationship going.
Okay, thank you.
Another little tip that I wanted to see if everybody was getting in, I was going to go over with other things for a power half hour, but I love how we help with that other, scripts and stuff along the way. So that's still all good. But did everyone get their sneak peek? Like, is everyone going to run a sneak peek or invite people to our sneak peek or invite people to their upline sneak peek? Is that something that everyone is doing? Show of hands. Are you going to do a sneak peek to put that out there?
We just do the webinars. We don't do the sneak peeks right now. We just do two a month usually.
2 a month?
Yeah.
That's what we were doing, that 1 hour webinar, but then I just thought I'd kind of switch it up so people can go into the 3-day sneak peek and kind of just go at their own pace. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do like a half an hour live Q&A or something.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
Just kind of switching it up because we've done that webinar for 3-4 months straight. But anyways, just saying to put it out there and you guys get a sneak peek set up for that date and then start promoting that. I set up an event. I think our whole team is in on that. They did their cute little flipogram videos, or they did some kind of cool posts, and then they set up an event to invite people to. We shared in our team page our top 10 people in play. I like to say 10 in play of the people that are Rockstar Challengers, or somebody that you would love to have on your team, or somebody that you see is maybe a new mom and you're thinking like they don't want to go back to work and leave their baby. Like, make that list of the 10 in play that you have. And then you want to get in conversation and work it into the conversation of where you're going to invite them to your sneak peek. So I told my team, I suggested, you guys should have 10 people coming to this sneak peek. So at least you have 10 people that you're inviting and talking to, and, get it out there and invite them to that sneak peek. So just wanted to throw it out there that was like the suggestion for the second half of the month, to start talking about the opportunity and getting comfortable with inviting for that. And in that inviting school document that I have in the files section in this page, you can go in there and I have it listed, coaching opportunity invites, and then I have challenge group opportunity invites. And I'm going right off of those. I have them right in my notes in my phone, and I have a couple different ones. I'm going to copy, paste, send them out to those people. So I know maybe some of you might not have that flow of the challenge group and the sneak peek this month, but just putting it out there, to think about promoting that, putting the jabs out there about why you love coaching, and then start to get the messages and invites out, building that relationship and just asking the question, have you ever considered doing what I do as a coach? Make sure you give a compliment, tell them how awesome they'd be, why you think that they'd be great for the team, and then ask them the question. So just wanted to throw that out there. And it's 7 o'clock, so.
Great call, ladies. You guys did awesome.
We can share all those things. Lisa and Julian and I will share all those things in the team page.
There's still some questions in the chat. I don't know if you guys want to answer those real quick.
Oh, okay.
Just a couple.
Let's see.
What about using can you tell me more about that? Oh, for okay. Jessica, for what Melanie was saying. I don't know if she's still on there.
Yeah, I think that's what she's talking about.
Okay.
I think what I was talking about was I actually had kind of the dream kind of forming situation where I connected with someone from high school. And and I was just completely talking family, moving back to Wisconsin, all this kind of stuff. And I knew she had a health job. And so she is the director of nutrition and something or other for a school district. So that's where I'm at right now with the conversation, is kind of like, okay, you definitely have a health-related job. It seems like this might be an interesting opportunity for you, but how do you transition from forming to inviting without sounding really awkward? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So where are you trying to go with this? You're trying to get into where are you trying to go with this conversation? Not with me right now, but with the conversation you're in.
Well, I think she would be a really awesome coach. She's super passionate about fitness and nutrition, obviously. She's a food and nutrition director, but she was also an athlete in high school. So I guess I was thinking more of the coaching route.
Okay. And then where has the conversation last? You've been forming and chatting and catching up and
Yes. And that's really all. I got to the work discussion. So we've been talking about family, kids, blah, blah, blah. And then I just asked, since she moved back from California to Wisconsin, you know, what her work situation basically was. And all she replied was, I'm a school food and nutrition director currently in. That's it.
awesome.
I think maybe relating it to what you're doing here.
Okay.
Like, that's so awesome. I can relate because I help people with, you know, improving their nutrition and fitness or something like that, relating it to what you do. And so it's not an awkward invite, but it's starting the conversation over to what you do.
Okay.
Perfect. Cool. And then also saying what I love to say, like, what do you love most about that? What do you love about doing that? I think Tina's really good at doing that too.
Yes.
Like, what do you love about that? And then they're going to tell you all of their passion about helping people. Boom. And say, relate with that. I love doing that with my job too. And then that may be something at that moment where you could even move it in. Like, do you know about a Beachbody coach? Like what we do? Like, is it something that you've ever heard about? Or I didn't even know it existed and I love doing it. And, you know, whatever, you could do that. Or you could kind of drop it a little bit and then come back to where you know, reconnect and do like, hey, I got this sneak peek coming up. And you said how, you know, you just love helping people learn how to eat healthy. And I immediately thought of you because you'd be so good at you know, give them that compliment. And then say, you know, would you be interested in checking out the sneak peek that I'm doing about, you know, what is coaching, that type of thing.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. She sounds great. Find out what she loves about her job and her passion there, and
perfect.
Track of it in Team Z and follow up.
One other question before everybody gets off. Stephanie asked, at what point do you move a prospect that has signed up as a discount coach to the coach group and on Team Z? Do you wait till they are active or do it immediately? So I think you're basically asking, Stephanie, and correct me if I'm wrong, basically, when do you move them from a discount coach over to an active coach helping other people? Is that correct?
No, what I was talking about, because on Team Z, you know how they have the different groups, like you have your prospects that you need to connect with, your coaches that you need to connect with, and that. At what point do you then take people who signed up, you know, with a challenge pack as a discount coach? At what point do you put them into that coach group so that you are making, like, you're making that number go up on there so that you're meeting all of your requirements for the day?
Mine are already plugged in as a coach, even my discount coach. And then I have in my notes section, I have just a discount coach.
Okay.
Because
so it doesn't matter regardless.
Yeah, you want to actively be in conversation with them because you want them to continue. And if you lose connection with them, then you lose, they stop ordering Shakeology, they go inactive, then you lose them as
exactly
a coach.
And then your customers, then that group for customers, is that just then people who just randomly order stuff from you then?
Either the people who have ordered a challenge pack and chose the customer option, people who have just ordered a program, or even the customer leads that Beachbody has given you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
And then last thing, their sneak peek is going to be a 3-day, so group one, June 13th, 14th, 15th, and I just post twice a day in their videos. And then the 15th at 9 o'clock at night will be the half-hour, 45-minute live webinar or whatever. So you can go to my page or my fitness page to get more details about that. I suggest that you create your own event and your own picture with your own face and promote it out there. Don't promote mine, you know, but you can plug people into our group if you would like and be a part of, you know, being on the call. But that's when we're doing it. And then if Lisa has one set up or something, or some other leaders have the webinar set up, then you can find out if you want to jump on with them as well. But okay, good to go. Okay, guys, we'll go ahead and stop the call here. Could keep talking with you all morning, but we got to go finish up our power half hours here.